Mario Kart DS, the fifth installment of the Mario Kart series and the second game for a handheld console. It is the first title to include various standard features of future installments, such as the concept of retro cups, online play, single-player battle mode, and more. This game is tons of fun, and everyone who has ever played it knows that. There is a reason why it is the second best-selling Mario Kart ever, with over 23 million sales. However, there were also a lot of things that were never seen in the game and that were planned to appear. Mostly entire tracks and some early versions of certain ones, all left in the files never to be seen by the public. But we got our hands on them, and we're gonna take a look at them and find out why they removed them. There are a total of 10 unused tracks in the game. The most of them have missing textures because they are located in the model file, while the normal tracks textures are in separate files. All tracks from the early kiosk demo version also have the texture files in the model file, so this is most likely the reason for the missing textures. However, they can be brought back with some hex editing or ROM hacking. First, we're gonna take a look at a track that's a remake of a Mario Kart Double Dash course that didn't make the final cut, although it was later featured in Mario Kart Wii.
It's Mario's Circuit. It can be easily navigated if you've ever played Double Dash, since it's the exact same. They only changed some things so that it would function on the DS. Now, why they removed it is actually quite easy to explain. In the full game, there are already two Mario circuits. One that's an original for the Mario Kart DS, and another that's a remake of the SNES version of the track. So it could be that there were too many Mario Circuit maps, and that they had to get rid of one. And this was the GameCube version. Now, why would they choose for the GameCube one to be removed? Why not the SNES one? Now, this is gonna sound very corporate, but it makes sense from a marketing standpoint. Super Mario Kart sold more copies than Double Dash, so more people would remember the SNES version and consider buying it for nostalgia reasons. But this is pure speculation. Our next track is called Noko Noko. It's an unused beach-type track with a shortcut. Judging by its title, Noko Noko being the Japanese name for Koopa, it was probably some sort of Koopa beach track. The game crashes if you drive off the course into what should be water, so clearly they didn't finish that part. Now, the only reason why they would have scrapped this level is the other beach-type track, Cheap Cheap Beach. They probably went with this one instead. Why is unknown. It might even be that they scrapped it for a completely different reason. But as far as we can see, they most likely ditched it in favor of Cheap Cheap Beach. Next up is Dokkan. A large, buggy, floating track with loopy pipes where falling off crashes the game. Chances are that it was scrapped because it can get a little funky when looping around in the pipes. It was probably a bit too much for the player. Next, the track Mini Block. This is a remake of Block City Battle Course from Double Dash that was never finished. Only the main model is present, while objects such as blocks all over the map are missing. It was likely replaced by Pipe Plaza. Strangely, there's a mission mode script where the player must fight against a big bully on this map by pushing him into a hole. It might be that they removed it because of the mission tied to it and decided to get rid of it altogether. But this is pure speculation. There's nothing wrong with the map really, it just misses things. Now for the next track, Luigi Course. This is a very early version of Luigi Pinball, and it looks more like a testing track and was probably never going to be finished. It has no item boxes, and the cannon is only a slope with boost pads. Near the end, where all the bounds and flippers are located, there's a passage where the player can go under the pinball machine. The flippers themselves also look different and have less details.
But there is another very early version of Waluigi Pinball, called Donkey Course, although this one is much closer to the final track. The name of the file is probably a mistake, since in the kiosk version, Donkey Course is an early version of DK Pass, which makes sense. The slot machine near the end is a part of the course where the player can drive over and get a speed boost. Also, the jump where the ball falls off the road is replaced by a normal road with some boost pads. As you can see, they started building it bit by bit, and as time went on, the track started to form. However, besides all these removed tracks, they also removed a mission. Well, actually a duplicate of an existing one in the game. There is a duplicate of GCN Mushroom Bridge, and it was meant to be used for mission 7-Boss with a Wiggler. But the game uses the normal course, so MR Stage 4 goes unused. And plus, it contains an earlier version of the mission. There are multiple differences. For example, an unfinished intro, the cars in the Wiggler have no sound, a different starting place, the Wiggler doesn't move, and way more. Now, this was probably an early version on the mission's build that probably served as some sort of backup. They never deleted it, most likely because they forgot about it. This tends to happen, and we've seen random items hidden out of sight in levels of Mario games a lot of times. In the end, Mario Kart DS has a ton of scrap tracks. If they had added all of them, then the game would be huge. Regardless, the game was still tons of fun and was a great success. Thank you for watching this week's video on Mario Kart DS. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe to our channel for weekly updates. Need more to convince you? Just click one of our past videos you can see right there.